Okay, let's do another update here. I don't know when I last did a video when I was on camera. I've usually been behind the camera the latest couple of videos. Anyway, I said I made my last update about a week ago, I think, and I said then that the next one was gonna be in a couple of days. It's been a week. I usually do this. I just thought that I would be done sooner with them, with watching whatever I needed to watch before doing this update. Anyway, not gonna ramble on too much. I'm just gonna show you what I have here. First is kind of a pretty good movie, I think. It's Romancing the Stone with Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, is that her name? And Danny DeVito. Bought this because a couple of years ago I bought this one, the sequel, Jewel of the Nile, it's what it's called. And I guess I wasn't sure which one this was, and then I came home and I found out that it was the sequel. So I just never watched it, and I guess I planned on getting the first one and then watch both of them, but I never did until now, or a while back, but still. So yeah, but finally I did get it, and I mean, I like both movies. Second is a little weaker, but I guess I like them. I'll just move them a little closer, the DVDs here. And then let's take these two. The Sopranos, last season. We got the first part and the second part. This one, it says Series 6, but it's just Series 6 Part 1. And here it says Series 6, the final episodes. So a little unclear exactly, for instance, or especially what this is, what this contains. If you don't know, it's a little unclear. Anyway, I got these used. When you watch a show like this with kind of a lot of characters and details to keep track of, when you watch it over a period of 2.5 years, like I did, in between the seasons, you sort of lose a couple of things. You forget who was that guy, who when they refer to someone, like, who's he, and just some conflicts and relationships between characters and disputes and whatever. I just forget some of them. So I'd like to rewatch it, and preferably within a month, you know, something like that. Watch the whole series so that I can actually understand everything. But anyway, I had heard that this has one of these notoriously ambiguous and frustrating endings, and yeah, it's a great ending, I think. Very frustrating for sure, but I think it's a pretty good ending to the show. Especially this last part of the season is very, very dark, very pretty relentless in a way, and pretty just not very uplifting at all. It's not what you want to watch if you want to feel good. I mean, it's great, but yeah, it was pretty intense at times, or overall pretty intense. But yeah, a great show. I recommend it for sure. Then we have Eyes Without a Face. Loved it when it started. Kind of disliked it when it ended. So I ended up liking it, basically. Which is too bad when that happens with movies. That you know really start out loving them, and then you just don't like how it turns out. You don't like the way the movie takes, or the how the plot develops. I just didn't care for it, how it ended and how it developed and everything. Anyway, it's really well done in the beginning, and I don't know, it's a good movie, but yeah. I liked the short actually a little bit more than the movie itself. The short that is on here, Blood of the Beasts, by the director of this movie, and that short is from 1949, so what, like a decade earlier. This is from Criterion as well. As is this next one, Hoop Dreams. Really good movie, documentary, nearly 3 hours I think. It's good, very kind of engaging, or whatever the word is. You know, it follows these two aspiring basketball players. They want to become big NBA stars or whatever, and it's good, or more than good. But I had hoped to like it a little more than I did. But this one comes with a really thick booklet. And then another Criterion, Man Bites Dog. No, it's not. They speak French, but it's not French. It's Belgian. I'm really sorry. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, it's a black comedy. Some of it is really funny, like the hospital scene. The old man who's singing about the shit or whatever, the shit song. And I think the scene that follows when you know, the accidental shooting at the dinner party or the birthday party or whatever, really funny stuff. But then there's a few elements of this movie that I don't care for, like the guy the documentary team is following. He talks about a lot of, he sort of, it's almost like he's preaching about the different, I don't know, the cultures of a serial killer. I don't know, you know, a lot of his thoughts and a lot of what goes on in his head. He just talks a lot about that, and I just don't like that. I'm not sure why. I just didn't care for it. I got a bit annoyed by that, and the way it ends, was pretty bad. I didn't like how it ended. It just felt pretentious as fuck, and it just, I don't know. But it was a good movie. Then unfortunately I did not like this movie. It's Stalker. I really thought I would like it. It's by Tarkovsky. This has 2 discs. I'm not sure what's on the second disc, to be honest. I don't think I even put it in. We have video interviews, excerpt from The Steamroller and the Violin, Andrei Tarkovsky's diploma film at the Soviet Film School. It doesn't really have that much special features to warrant a second disc by the looks of it. But anyway, it's a difficult movie, and maybe I need to watch it again sometime in the future, but I just didn't like it too much. Then fun Swedish, sort of both homage, however you pronounce that word, and satire of, or parody of American horror movies. And that's Evil Ed, a Swedish movie, if I did not mention that. This is a slim case. I wasn't aware of that when I ordered it. Maybe I should have known, because it costed 10 crowns from a Swedish website, plus shipping too. But that's okay. I just wanted to see the movie. Prefer to have it in a keep case, but slim case is fine. It's really funny. Some pretty good humor in this one, and overall a very enjoyable movie. Definitely something that I don't really, well, I mean, the actors in the movie, they talk English, but they're dubbed. But at the same time, you can see that what they're saying, it does actually fit with what you're hearing. I mean, what I'm saying is, the actors, I'm sure they were speaking English when they were shooting the movie, but maybe they didn't want any Swedish accents, so they decided to hire American accents to dub the Swedish actors. American actors, not accents, if I said that. I don't know why they did that exactly, why they didn't think it was okay to talk Swedish in the movie. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe they just wanted the American feel of it. I don't know. But if you haven't heard of this movie, it might be the only Swedish. I'm not sure why I'm showing the inside, but it might be the only Swedish splatter movie. I'm not sure, but it might be. It's not a big genre here, splatter. So it's one of the very few. That's for sure. This one I watched last night, and I got it a couple days before. Really good movie. I definitely loved this movie. Highly recommend it, and it's The King of Comedy with Robert De Niro and Jerry Lewis and Diane Abbott and Sandra Bernard. The story of this movie could have been executed in a very mediocre way, but it's the way it's made which makes this movie great. The performances and just the small details here and there, some of Robert De Niro's comedic choreography, like when he's jumping out of the car and he drops the gun, and when he's holding these cue cards, he keeps messing it up and he drops them, and one of them is upside down, and it's really funny. And in that scene, Jerry Lewis is great too. And that's another thing. Jerry Lewis, he's known as this. I mean, I haven't seen that many movies with him, but he's known as playing this sort of goofy character. In this one, he really shows that he can definitely play. He can definitely act. He's a really good actor. If you just watch the movie without knowing Jerry Lewis is a famous, comedian, you would. I mean, he plays a comedian in the movie, but his more personal life or whatever of that character, I mean, you would not think that Jerry Lewis is a comedian. He is a really good actor, and he puts up a great serious performance in this one. So definitely impressed with Jerry Lewis's acting skills. And yeah, just a great movie. A lot of great details and acting, and I don't know, it's really good. This one, I can see why people like it so much. But to me, it was a little weak and just dragged on a little. It was, I don't know, kind of pretentious. It's a word I might be using a little too much. Some people don't like that word, but sometimes I just don't know what else to call it. This is just. Anyway, I'll show you what it is. It's Pink Floyd live at Pompeii, the director's cut. I wasn't sure what this was. I kind of thought that it was just a concert, but for some reason it was classified as a movie and not as just a concert. So I figured, well, there gotta be something more to it, but I didn't know that it was gonna be this sort of artistic or whatever, because it starts with the planets, and then Earth appears, and then they play first part of Echoes at this amphitheater or whatever. This almost looks like ruins, and and then in between the songs, most of them they do play at that amphitheater, but some of them they perform, and no audience either. But some of them they perform in some not studio, but a scene indoors. And then there's in between the songs there are sort of interviews and chatter with the band members, and some footage from recording sessions, and just kind of random stuff really. And it was pretty good. The atmosphere that Echoes creates with the imagery, that's pretty astounding in some scenes, and also this scene is really effective. Roger Waters, when he's that gong or whatever it's called, when he's hitting that was really good. So some things in this is definitely good, and the music is great, of course, although they could have chosen some better songs if you ask me. But nonetheless, the music is great. But I had hoped for something else, something more. But just know that most people do like this. So if you like Pink Floyd, you should probably check it out. Then we got Naked by Mike Leigh. Really good movie. Great dialogue, really witty and clever. um, and Daniel Thulis, however you pronounce it, or maybe it's not Daniel, David Thulis. He puts up a great performance, and it's a great movie, but it does get a little weaker towards the end. Still, I would recommend it because it's definitely great. Criterion once again, and you have 2 discs here. On the second disc, you have a short by Mike Leigh starring Thulis called The Short and Curlies from 1987. But I have not had time to watch that one yet. But I think I have planned on watching it, so I think I'll get around to it. Then this one I thought I bought. Most people don't like this movie, but I thought I bought it a couple of years ago. But I've been looking through my collection. I can't find it, so I bought it again. And it's What's the Worst That Could Happen? And you know, maybe some people think it's a perfect movie title. This movie is the worst that could happen. But I kind of like it. I see why people don't, but I've seen it before. Love Danny DeVito. And Martin Lawrence, I haven't watched much with him lately. Mainly, I guess, because he doesn't star in a lot of movies. Hasn't starred in a lot of movies in a while now. But yeah, it's okay. It's pretty good. I kind of like it. Then we have The League Season 1. This only has 6 episodes, but it took me 3 episodes to really like it. Before that, I was kind of... it was okay, but after about half, I really liked it and enjoyed it immensely for what was left of it. Only 3 episodes was left, unfortunately, but the second season is much longer, or, well, more than 6 episodes anyway. And then I think there's a 3rd season which might not be out on DVD, and then there might be a 4th season in the works as well. But I might be wrong. But The League, it's a really funny show. It's semi-improvised, and I found out about this show from watching John LaJoie's YouTube videos, his music videos, you know, comedic, deadpan humor videos. Anyway, he's in this, and that's the main reason why I wanted to watch it. But it's not just good because he's in it. It definitely is just a good and funny show. Not the absolute strongest cast in a show, but it's a lot of fun. That's what it is. It's fun, you know. Then the last one is a Blu-ray. I think it's the only Blu-ray in this update, and I was surprised how. It's not that it's bad the second time. It's just that I really loved it the first time. So I'm surprised how much worse it was the second time. It's Avatar. I think maybe it's because I watched it in the movie theater. The first 3D movie I saw, I was in a very good mood. Saw it with my cousin. Was like between Christmas and New Year's, and this 3D was great. And it was just a very good, pleasant movie experience. You know, I don't know. So I guess I was just in a good mood. But now I rewatched it with a bit more of an objective mind, if you will, and I just could see a lot of the things in this movie could have been done better. It's kind of uninteresting at times, despite the glorious visuals. Most of the plot developments just scream cliche, and they're not interesting. They could have done more with it. When doing something like this, they could have done much more with it. I mean, commercially or whatever, or financially too, it was an enormous success, but artistically, I don't know. Anyway, Avatar. This is it says 6 disc, or maybe it doesn't, but it does have 6 discs, but 3 of those are DVDs, and everything that is on the DVDs is also on the Blu-rays, and then there's much more on the Blu-rays as well. So you can get it if you only have a DVD player, but you will gain much more from having a Blu-ray player. But I suppose you could get it without having a Blu-ray player, then eventually get one and watch the features that you couldn't see on the DVD. Anyway, still like it, and the special features were pretty good. Not the best. I mean, there are some sets with several discs that are much better, but not bad. And maybe I said that, but I had been planning to get that Blu-ray or that set for a long time. Anyway, those are all DVDs I have for now. That's a couple of other things I have that need to be updated whenever I watch them. So that is all. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And yeah, see you in the next video.